any golden age future that develops under Trump will be completely illusory and temporary as long as these communist bastard traitors are allowed to crawl around free. These are strange political times indeed, and what's driving them? Even as Trump talks about America's future, which is of course good and necessary and all that, what's driving these, however, is what's been left unresolved, the past. The evils of the communist Democrats over the past 10 years, spun into high gear by Obama in particular, those evils are so vast and they're so complete that they simply can't be ignored. MAGA land is screaming, crying out for justice in every one of these cases. With how to get justice in the specific case of the Epstein matter, that's creating a whole real wedge going on right now. And blood is beginning to boil among MAGA types that it looks like no justice is ever going to be administered in any of these cases, even with Trump sitting behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. Take, for example, the case of who was actually running the country when brain-dead Biden sat behind that same desk just 6 months ago. Because it sure wasn't Biden. In hearing after hearing, now Biden loyalists, meaning communists, are now using the very Constitution they worked so hard to destroy as a shield for themselves and their own evil actions.
Let's find out, did he actually authorize it? There should be a record of it, is what we've learned today. Thank you for that testimony, Mr. Wold. There should be a record of it. So this is a binary question. It's not, oh, we don't know, gee, it's hard to say. No, actually, we can find out. So right now, today, I call on President Biden, former President Biden and his staff, release the documents. You have them, you know you have them, release them. If what you did is legal, and if you're really not embarrassed about it, and you think it was totally constitutional, release the paper flow. Show us the documents where the president authorized the use of the pen for every single pardon and clemency and stay application. Let's see it. Let's see all of it. And if you won't do it, we should subpoena those documents, and we should find out the truth.
First, Biden's personal physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, who, by the way, looks like he needs to go to a doctor himself, called to testify about how he could give Biden repeated passes on something every human on the planet could plainly see. He clammed up and he took the Fifth Amendment, refusing to answer for self-incrimination.
Former White House doctor Kevin O'Connor leaving his deposition without answering a single question on what he knew about President Biden's mental decline and physical decline.
Were you ever told to lie about the president's health?
I must respectfully decline to answer based upon physician-patient privilege and in reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Did you ever believe the president was unfit to execute his duties as president?
I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and in reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Then a couple of days ago, Jill Biden's top aide, Anthony Bernal, did the exact same thing.
Mr. Bernal, did you ever advise President Joe Biden to pardon his son, Hunter Biden?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Mr. Bernal, was President Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Bernal has invoked the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Mr. Bernal, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Mr. Bernal, is it your intention to decline to answer all questions put to you today by the committee on the basis of the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination?
I can represent that that is his intention.
If this seems somehow familiar, well, listen to this.
Edward J. Fitzgerald. I refuse to answer this question on the grounds that any answer I may give may tend to be self-incriminating.
It's just like the Soviet-aligned U.S. traitors of the 1950s, copying the Fifth over and over and over again in the Senator Joe McCarthy hearings as the unfairly maligned Wisconsin senator tried to root them out of D.C. and all the other parts of American life. Today's deep state actors, they're likewise. They're hiding behind the Constitution they've spent years trying to destroy. As scumbag after scumbag, anti-American, treasonous men and women from Biden's inner circle are led before Congress and just plead the Fifth, It's clear that the communist strategy on accountability is going to be to just clam up and refuse to answer. These are the very people who aided and abetted Biden's coma-like presence and thereby facilitated the near destruction of America for their own personal gain. Doesn't matter if it was ideological or financial or influence, doesn't matter what it was, they were in it for themselves and against you. They set up the auto pen scandal. They set up the illegal alien invasion of millions. They set up the middle-class wipeout. They set up the flood of last-hour pardons designed to shield active participants from justice once Trump took the oath. The Biden inner circle, of which Jill Biden was a ringleader in cooperation with Obama cheerleaders, it had no other goal in mind except to destroy and deny. Destroy America, and when that coup failed, for now at least, deny justice from ever being administered to them and their fellow cabal members. MAGA's blood is boiling over all of this as it seems more and more like they're going to get away with it again. People, many people, need to be convicted and they need to be hung for treason. It's just that simple. And the fact that these bastards can hide behind the same Constitution that they violated over and over just turns the heat up even more. It's time for justice. In fact, it's long past time. Any golden age future that develops under Trump will be completely illusory and temporary as long as these communist bastard traitors are allowed to crawl around free. The deep state must hang. That's in constitutional law, lest we forget, and it's there for a reason. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.